All right, what's up everyone? OJ here. Welcome back to another RPG and Nintendo Switch video. Today we got a lot of great information for you guys, but before we get into that, please make sure you hit that like button, subscribe if you're someone new, and click that notification bell for the best Nintendo Switch RPG news and more. Now let's go ahead and jump right into it. And we're going to start off with Xenoblade Chronicles 3 and how it won a big award at the Japan Game Awards 2023. Now, as you guys know, Tokyo Game Show is going on as of the time that I'm recording this video from the 21st through the 23rd, and a lot of games are being revealed, shown off, all sorts of stuff. So we're going to go over a couple of those today, but I wanted to highlight this because Xenoblade Chronicles 3 did win the award for excellence amongst other games as well, like Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak, and Splatoon 3. So it's a nice list of games here, and it's just really good to see, especially considering everything that Xenoblade Chronicles 3 did. Now, this game did not win a single award at the Game Awards last year in 2022, which was very interesting because I went back and looked at the history of the Game Awards, and there hasn't been a single game, especially a Japanese RPG, rated as high Metacritic score as Xenoblade Chronicles 3 and not win a single award. Most of the time when you have a Japanese RPG, and I'm talking about major ones here, we're talking games like, for example, Persona 5 and Nier Automata, these type of games that are rated in that upper 80s or 90s range, most of the time they'll win at least one award somewhere. But Xenoblade Chronicles 3 did not win a single award despite being rated 89 on Metacritic, which tells me that most, if not all, of the voters did not play the game. Even for Soundtrack of the Year did not win an award for that either, despite having 100 tracks more than the winner, God of War Ragnarok, and having the quality of the music be just as good, if not better. I don't think the music in the game is way worse than what God of War Ragnarok offered with its 20 something to 30 tracks. So the Trinity box set kind of reveals that. So it's very unfortunate, but I'm happy for Xenoblade Chronicles 3 that it won an award of excellence here amongst many other games, and it's cool to see that it's being recognized for something because it didn't really get much recognition when it comes to the Game Awards last year outside of being nominated for a few different things here and there. And shout outs to Flute Guy for making the epic performance of Xenoblade's music even better, as in the game they play flutes as well. Now, for my own personal opinion, you guys know how I feel about Xenoblade Chronicles 3. It is an incredible game, and I'm very happy for the developers. I think that Takahashi, Monolith Soft poured their heart and soul into the game. It's absolutely not perfect, but it's, I think, by far the best iteration of the main line Xenoblade games. Now, if you get into the expansion of it, Future Redeemed to me is the best game, and I think that if you include it as part of Xenoblade Chronicles 3, it's one of the greatest experiences in video games when you talk about the totality or overall story, how they were able to weave this narrative spanning thousands of years across multiple games, across multiple decades when it comes down to it, all at the very end with Future Redeemed. So I highly recommend you guys checking out Xenoblade Chronicles 3 and Future Redeemed. Play the games in order: Xeno 1, Future Connected, Xenoblade 2, Torna, Xenoblade 3, Future Redeemed, and if you give the time and effort, I'm telling you, it is one of the best stories ever told, if not the best, when it comes to a trilogy wrapping everything up. The game is incredible. So shout out to Xenoblade Chronicles 3 and Monolith Soft for winning that award of excellence at the Japan Game Awards 2023. Now let's go ahead and jump into another thing here when it comes to Monolith Soft, and I wanted to talk about their new IP. I discussed it a little bit in a video beforehand, but as we get more information about Nintendo's next generation system, and now that we know that Monolith Soft has talked multiple times about a fresh start, doing something new, we went over it. We know that their next big game has been in development for quite some time because of the job listing that they posted many years ago and some artwork, in addition to a lot of the developers, even at the top with Takahashi saying, hey, I hope you guys can envision what we're going to be doing next. We have the music composer saying that he's ready for a fresh start. There's so many signs that point to, yes, there is something new coming, and I'm guessing that Nintendo will have that game on display at the Nintendo Switch 2 presentation, very similar to how they did it with Xenoblade Chronicles 2, where that was a surprise to many people, as Xenoblade Chronicles X had just came out at the end of 2015, and then by early 2017 we have a brand new Xenoblade Chronicles game. So I do think that it's going to be a showpiece for the technology. Monolith Soft has been the best at optimizing Nintendo's platforms. They've made some of the most impressive games out there on each platform. You can say arguably each platform, some of the most impressive game is from Monolith Soft, with the Wii and Xenoblade Chronicles, with the Wii U and Xenoblade Chronicles X, and with the Nintendo Switch with Xenoblade Chronicles 3, and what they were able to do in an open world game and have 7 people on screen with seamless battles starting up and not tank completely down the frame rate, and everything was just a technical marvel, and how huge and vibrant and how good the world looked when it comes to what they were working with the Nintendo Switch. So I'm guessing that the Nintendo Switch 2 is going to be a showpiece for Monolith Soft and what they're going to do as they adapt new hardware very well and are able to get something up and going and looking good, running good, and playing good most of the time. So I'm looking forward to seeing what they do with their new IP. I think that they're going to go more in the traditional swords and magic route with a brand new fantasy RPG. It could be called Xenoblade something, but it's essentially going to be a new IP in general, or it could just be a brand new name in terms of what they want to do, because they did talk about how the Xenoblade chapters have stopped. Like, this is a stopping point for Xenoblade in terms of what they're going to do, but Xenoblade isn't going to stop. There's going to be Xenoblade games in the future. Obviously, the name Xenoblade is very popular. It's Monolith Soft's by far most popular and best-selling series by a long shot, and they had Baten Kaitos and they had SaGa, and they made many other games before with Nintendo on the GameCube and on PlayStation 2, and Xenoblade blew every single other game away when it comes to sales and popularity and review scores. So I do think that they will get back to that, or this new IP is going to be a whole new take on what Xenoblade is, or Xeno whatever they're going to call it next. So I'm looking forward to that. I think it's going to be really good, and I'm happy for Monolith Soft and what they're doing. I think that they are an incredibly valuable asset and great people that work there. They've got multiple different studios. They help out with Nintendo's other games like Splatoon, The Legend of Zelda, and Animal Crossing. So it's very good to see Monolith Soft get some recognition with the game. And of course, their next IP, or what they're doing next, their next big game, is going to be huge when it comes to when they show that Nintendo Switch 2 off and what people get to see. So I'm excited for that as well. Now let's go ahead and jump into some Tokyo Game Show 2023 announcements for the Nintendo Switch, PlayStation, and PC. So The Legend of Heroes Trails Through Daybreak, let's go. Finally coming over to the West, summer 2024. Like I said, PS5, PS4, Switch, and PC. So NIS America will release that game. Now it will feature English and Japanese audio options. So Baten Kaitos, take some notes there. Known as The Legend of Heroes Kuro no Kiseki in Japan, The Legend of Heroes Trails Through Daybreak first launched for the PS4 on September 30th, 2021 in Japan and Asia, followed by PS5 on July 28, 2022. A PC version was released via Steam the same day in Asia. Now pre-orders are available, you guys can check it out there. And in this game, the aftermath of the brief war, Calvard is enjoying unprecedented economic prosperity. However, the public grows uncertain as the number of immigrants increases and questionable political reform runs rampant. Follow the Spriggan Van Arkride on a unique request that will prove more than he bargained for. Will the nation fall into chaos? So here are some of the key features in this game. A case in Calvard. Follow the Spriggan known as Van Arkride as he takes on a case that will change the nation's fate as well as his own. Explore the reaches of Calvard Republic, immersing yourself in a rich story filled with action and intrigue. Spriggan to action. Transition seamlessly between action, field battles, and turn-based combat with the revamped AT Action Time battle system, and expand your arsenal with the new Shard skills, courtesy of the 6th generation combat ornament Zephyr. Between law and chaos, under the alignment system, your choices and actions affect how your story unfolds. Your propensity towards law, chaos, and the shades in between can influence your status in the city, who will ally with or oppose you, and even what jobs and dialogue options are available. So the interesting thing about this game when it comes down to what they're doing. They're finally bringing over a lot of these games, and it looks good. The combat, I love what they're doing here. Very fast-paced, cool action elements, great graphics when it comes to, it looks like probably the PS5 version that the announced trailer is. But yeah, I'm really loving what they're showing off here, and I'm looking forward to maybe checking out this game because I'm so far behind with the different titles when it comes down to the Legend of Heroes. They just release them every single year, and there's just not enough time to play all the different arcs and games. But yeah, it's looking really good. So let me know what you guys think about the Legend of Heroes Trails Through Daybreak in the comment section. But now we're going to move on to another new RPG that was announced at the Nintendo Direct and got another brand new trailer at TGS 2013. So Square Enix has released the Tokyo Game Show 2023 trailer for the newly announced RPG SaGa Emerald Beyond. The game is due out for PlayStation 5, PlayStation 4, Nintendo Switch, PC, iOS, and Android in early 2024. And the thing that I like about SaGa Emerald Beyond is that the unique art style of this game. There really isn't another JRPG out there that has like the SaGa style, and the combat looks super flashy, looks really fun, traditional in sense, but a lot of cool things to make the battles look more dynamic. And to be honest, I don't think anybody expected a new SaGa game in 2024, probably spearheaded by how great the games do on the Nintendo Switch platform. All of the re-releases and remasters that Square Enix has been putting out have done well enough to where they invested in a brand new SaGa game. And it's not like it's a smaller type of title when it comes to a budget for a SaGa game or using pixel art or something. It's like full models and everything, and it looks like it's going to have a ton of great content and be what SaGa fans want in terms of the different characters and the choices, the uniqueness, the diversity of the characters. It's fantastic to see. So I'm very happy that SaGa's getting a new game, and I will absolutely be playing this game in early 2024. We'll see when it comes out. Looks like it's going to be a worldwide launch as well, so good on Square Enix for that one, especially for these games where you have to translate a lot of stuff. Now moving on to the next game here from Tokyo Game Show. This is a game that caught my eye. It's only for PC and smartphones right now, but I would guess that this game is going to come to probably Switch 2, Xbox, PlayStation. It's got to come to consoles as well because it looks really impressive, and it's called Breakers Unlock the World. It seems like it's a Genshin Impact style of game, but I love what they're doing with the style in this game. Looks like they're putting a lot of effort into this, and I've never heard of these developers or anything. So let's go ahead and get into this new title. So Vic Game Studios has released the official gameplay trailer for Breakers Unlock the World. It's a newly announced animation RPG for PC, iOS, and Android. Now here's the breakdown for the game. The story is set in Seraphia, a continent torn apart by a conflict between angels. As a result of the division, the angel's treasure, Eyes of the Angel, which holds strong power, is broken into pieces and scattered across the continent. In the lands where the fragments fell, unnatural monsters appeared. At the same time, those fragments can grant a human power strong enough to change the world. Because of this, unprecedented chaos and prosperity enveloped the continent. The continent branched off into independent developed regions, from industrial cities to nature-filled woodlands and polluted ruins. Dangerous magical pollution severed the connection between each land, and although intercontinental traffic ceased for a while, adventurers who traveled the world in unique airships eventually appeared, and just like that, they were known as Breakers, adventurers who break the boundaries of the world. I like that name. We're going to continue on here. Breakers have one purpose: to reach the Library of God, a place of legend said to have never been reached, where all knowledge before the division is accumulated. To achieve their desires and ideals, and each with their own goals in mind, the adventure of the Breakers who aim to reach the Library of God begins. Now, Breakers Unlock the World will be available once again PC, iOS, and Android as a free-to-play title. Oh, that worries me. And with item-based microtransactions, that worries me as well. A release date has yet to be announced. A release has currently only been announced for Japan. So this game, it actually surprised me and impressed me enough for me to actually cover it on my video here. But I am a little bit worried. You have those, you know, free-to-play titles, item-based microtransactions. That's why I said it's kind of like Genshin Impact. But you can't really ignore how the game looks. It has beautiful animation, beautiful art, beautiful gameplay. I love what they've shown off here. Just looks really cool. And I think it's going to be a game, once again, that will come over to consoles as well after its initial smartphone run, or it will be announced at certain, like a Nintendo Direct, or at a presentation, or at something like a State of Play, or a PlayStation Showcase, or even an Xbox presentation. So I think that that would be pretty cool. Games like Genshin Impact are making so much money. I can see why other game studios are going to say, okay, we're going to go ahead and have our own style of game like this. But obviously gameplay is going to be different from what we've seen before based off the trailer. But overall, I'm very impressed with what they've shown off here. So what do you guys think about Breakers Unlock the World? Let me know in the comment section. And for the last game, we're going to be talking about Octopath Traveler 2, heading over to the Xbox Series X and S and the Xbox One in early 2024. So publisher Square Enix and developer Acquire announced Octopath Traveler 2 finally coming over to Microsoft systems here and PC early 2024. This was a bit of a surprise that it didn't come over, considering that Octopath Traveler 1 was on the Xbox platforms and it wasn't on PlayStation platforms. But then Octopath 2 came over to PlayStation platforms and Switch and not on Xbox. But it seems like Big Phil Spencer, or Big Spender as we like to call it, has been able to secure this game on Xbox platforms. So that's definitely good. It's a phenomenal game, one of the highest rated games of 2023 so far, one of the highest rated Japanese RPGs as well. It's a great game, and it's going to probably play and look incredible on the Xbox platform, you know, so I'm happy. More people that get to play the game, the better. But this is not a Game Pass deal. At least I don't know if it's a Game Pass deal or not. So if it's not, if Xbox fans want to see more Xbox Japanese RPGs come out, it's something that you got to actually buy the game and not rely on Game Pass 24/7. I bought the game on PlayStation, I bought the game on the Nintendo Switch, and I'll definitely buy the game to support on Xbox. But we definitely need to see more people actually pick up some of these Japanese RPGs, especially the really good ones that come over, if we want to see more Japanese support on the Xbox platform. Now, even if it's on Game Pass, still there needs to be a nice mix of people buying the game and people playing the game via Game Pass. Obviously not as high as Starfield with its 10 million, but there are people buying Starfield as well for that 70. So I do think that that's what needs to happen for a high quality RPG, because the game has already sold over 1 million units across the PlayStation systems and the Nintendo Switch, with the Nintendo Switch doing a lot of the heavy lifting there, and it's still selling as there's discounts across the world for the game. So we definitely need to see this game do well on Xbox. I know it's late, but there's been a number of late ports over to Nintendo Switch that still sold 1 million plus. So it's something that still needs to happen if we want to see more of these games come over. So that's going to wrap it up for this video here, guys. What did you think about everything that we discussed? Let me know in the comment section below. What are you excited about when it comes to Tokyo Game Show or Monolith Soft, Xenoblade, the next Nintendo Switch? Let me know in the comment section below. All right, guys, that wraps it up for this video here. Thank you so much for watching. I do appreciate it. Please make sure you hit that like button, subscribe if you're someone new, click that notification bell, and check out our other videos on screen, like my top 25 best Nintendo Switch indie games, which includes a lot of indie RPGs and more. Thank you for watching. We'll catch you for the next one. Peace.